Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here again at Solana. We're going to double check a couple of key factors here, make sure we understand what might happen next. Now, while we never can guarantee that, we're going to double check a couple of key factors, kind of seeing what's what the backend data is telling us here with liquidation. So if you're new to the channel, we'd like to look at liquidation levels first and kind of understand what this could imply with price action, because whales like to push the price in different directions, as we can see here recently. Low 180s got swept very, very hard, and prior to that, the low 190s too. We talked about that being a point of contention. When heavy accumulation of volume starts to stack up, the price tends to move in that direction. So we can see the same thing happening here with Solana, upwards of 195 as a potential area of retracement for the price to continue further up. Okay, so just keep in mind, while this isn't a guarantee, it's a statistical probability that level will probably be hit first before the lower levels will too. We can look at smaller timeframes too as well, kind of understand that in the last 12 hours, there's a lot of shorts here too, and that's adding to that accumulation. But by no means is there any, you shouldn't be like blindly taken along because of that, right? There is definitely liquidation below the price action that could also get swept too. So just some things to kind of be mindful of. But again, people are getting pretty heavy with the shorts at 190 with good reason, by the way, because once again, we're kind of rejecting off this upper level in the cloud. We had a bearish backtest of the ascending trend line that we had lost. So there's a lot of reasons why these shorts could be absolutely very much a viability. So please understand that. I recognize if you're a Solana maxi that you're going to probably take offense to me saying the price could go down. But if you are, you're probably not in the right place. You should go back to whichever hole you crawled out from underneath. Anyways, conversation for another day. What I want to get at here is you want to look at technical analysis as very strictly, it's analytics, right? It's just data. You take no emotion and you don't apply emotion to it. So let's look at this emotionless, right? And let's double check here. We're underneath the 20-day SMA, sort of. We're kind of just testing it, so to speak. And once again, that's that ascending trend line that we want to be above in order to have a bullish continuation potential, okay? Doesn't mean the sky is going to fall because we're underneath the 20-day SMA. It just implies it's not a great place to be and that we could very well see the price swing down. We are seeing a second stochastic swing to the downside that carries more weight than the first. We can also see RSI kind of hanging out there above 50, but under 70. That's generally a neutral / bullish situation, okay? So I would say that looking at the daily time frame here, we're not like in dire straits, but we're not like phenomenal and like, oh, I feel super great about taking a long or a short position right now. It's kind of that neutrality that we see. And again, right now, we're in this weird place where Bitcoin's on the edge of disaster, could continue lower, which is why we hedged 2 of our longs with like 5 shorts to ensure that we secure profits and it all averages out. But the bottom line here is that we're in this like weird little middle ground where you're going to be seeing a lot of long positions and short positions being open in both directions without a definitive understanding of what way the price action is going. It's a weird place to be. I really don't love it when the market does this, but you kind of got to deal with it and you work within it, okay? So speaking of working within, let's look at the volume profile and see where we're at. We are above, from what I can tell here, if this is refreshed correctly, 185 or 184.50. We've talked about that previously. This 0.5 fib level being an important level for us to pay attention to. It's essentially a support range, letting us know that we have the most amount of volume there. So the likelihood of the price kind of pivoting and bouncing off 185 is fairly high. Again, the reason why that's high is because people's mindset goes to the fact that 185 is a good deal. That's where most people are buying. So if people feel like 185 is a good deal, the price pulls back to that level, they're going to probably try to fill their bags at 185. That's generally what we're seeing here. Okay, so that's something to kind of be understanding of. While we're below 2 out of the 3 moving averages, 2 out of 4, and we're under 50 in the RSI, we could very well see the price continue higher after maybe a retracement to 185. If we do take a look at the RSI on the charts, we're constantly getting rejected by this level. And we can see the pretty obvious level here, right at about 190. There's a lot of resistance there. We've had 4 candle wicks up in the last 16 hours without continuation. So it's a strong resistance level, but once again, it's followed by a strong support. So the potential of the price action coming back down here to bounce, again, is fairly high, all things considered. Now, again, it depends on a lot of things, of course, here, but generally speaking, we can see MACDs converging here, at least on the horizon of converging. A lot of positive things are forming here to allow for the price action to continue further up, okay? So again, it's not like massive confirming factors, just letting us know kind of that we very well could see the price move forward. It has good momentum, but once again, it can be stunted out pretty quick if Bitcoin decides it wants to pull back. Here's another thing too as well. You got to keep in mind the upper lead on the cloud. That 190 is an absolute resistance level for us. So generally speaking, traveling within the cloud is considered to be a no buy zone. So as much as I want to try to buy, that's going to prohibit me from wanting to get in unless we can break above the cloud and consolidate there for at least a few hours. So if all goes well, price action in the next couple hours does one of these and kind of hangs out here for 3 or 4 hours. That would be a case in point for me to want to kind of warrant getting into a long position. Okay, so just some things to kind of think about and be mindful of. All right, so that's generally where we're at here and now for Solana. I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's great. We do have, again, daily time frame. We're seeing some neutrality there, so to speak. We got some conflicting factors. The 4-hour time frame is telling us we're still bearish, but we have a small amount of things that are like shifting the momentum. And here, of course, in the hourly, until we break over that 190, we're going to probably be in a position where we're not going to be able to see the price action continue much further higher. So that being said, again, when we if we hit 190 or so, we're going to be sweeping some of that liquidity. There's a good chance we could see upwards of 195 as the next level or next pump. And I think that'd be kind of an area to pay attention to. Once again, we take a look at the bigger picture here. 190 to 195 is that heaviest amount of volume based on liquidation that we've seen here in the last 7 days. So I think that we could see a liquidity sweep here. It makes more sense for the price to go up than to go down here at this point. But again, we don't have confirming factors. So it really just depends on what kind of trader you are. If you're a day trader, low leverage, low position sizing, get in and get out. If you're swing trading, let's wait for some confirmation. All right, folks, I hope you learned something here today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below if you could, please. Of course, greatly appreciate that. Do not forget to jump on over to Bitget, phenomenal exchange, no KYC or VPN required. I do look forward to working with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one.